Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a fascinating and honestly slightly terrifying concept that is completely taking over the business world. It's called neuromarketing. It turns out almost every massive corporation and university out there is using this right now to totally bypass your logical thinking and tap right into your deepest primal instincts. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is a quick look at our agenda for today. First, what exactly is neuromarketing? Then we'll explore the power of visuals, the psychology of price, the illusion of choice, and finally, uncovering your hidden subconscious desires.
Section 1. What is neuromarketing? The brain science.
So, neuromarketing is the application of neuroscience to marketing. But what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it means companies aren't just relying on boring surveys or politely asking you what you like anymore. Nope, they are actively using cutting-edge brain imaging, eye-tracking tech, and advanced science to understand and predict exactly how you'll act and what you're going to buy. It is quite literally the science of ignoring what your logical brain says just to see what your primal brain actually desires.
Moving on to Section 2, the power of visuals. Hacking perception.
It's absolutely wild how subtle little visual cues completely hijack our attention. Take ads with cute babies. We all know they work great, right? But eye-tracking tech revealed a massive flaw in how we used to do this. Get this. When a baby in an ad looks straight at the camera, viewers lock right onto the baby's face. You literally ignore the products completely. But if the image shows that baby looking down at the product or the text, boom, your eyes automatically follow their gaze right to the marketing message. Advertisers now know exactly where to point a baby's eyes to force you to read their ad.
Packaging is another huge visual trigger. For the longest time, companies just assumed that flashy and shiny meant better, but neuroimaging turned that completely upside down. When Frito-Lay ran these brain scan tests, they discovered something shocking. Customers subconsciously disliked their shiny potato chip bags. They hated the glare. When they showed them matte packaging instead, the brain's response was way more positive. So, based entirely on those brain scans, Frito-Lay totally ditched the shiny bags and switched to that matte look you see on the shelves today.
Color is also a massively powerful neuromarketing tool. These experts aren't just picking colors because they look pretty. They study exactly how colors trigger specific emotional states. Take Coca-Cola's iconic red. That is not an accident. Red is scientifically proven to evoke strong, urgent reactions. On the flip side, if a company wants to attract, say, a corporate or professional demographic, studies show that cool blues are absolutely the best choice for setting that calm, reliable tone.
And you know, this stuff isn't just for physical products. It completely dictates the digital world too. Neuromarketers scrutinize everything from font sizes to layouts, and they have developed some hard and fast rules for website design. For instance, horizontal website layouts actually fail. Why? Because reading top-down engages your brain in a way that actively encourages you to keep scrolling vertically. Combine that vertical layout with customer reviews, official certificates, and social widgets, and you create a visual environment scientifically engineered to maximize sales.
Let's look at how they mess with our reading habits using something researchers call hippocampal headlines. Take the phrase, "practice makes patron." Wait, what? Exactly. Researchers at University College London found that when you take a really well-known phrase, like "practice makes perfect," and alter it just slightly, it forcefully activates the hippocampus in your brain. Your brain expects the normal word, gets totally surprised, and boom, you are forced to instantly pay attention to the ad. It's a brilliant little hack.
Which brings us to Section 3, the psychology of price. Pricing mind games.
Here's a funny flaw in how human minds work. We rarely ever know the intrinsic, standalone value of anything. Instead, we rely entirely on comparison. This is called the anchoring effect. Imagine hotel room A and hotel room B. They are the exact same price, but room B advertises that it comes with free morning coffee. You are way more likely to choose room B. You probably won't even check if the beds are better or the rooms are bigger. That free coffee serves as an anchor, tricking your brain into perceiving it as a vastly superior deal. Advertisers constantly use this when setting up subscription tiers. And then, of course, there's the classic $9.99 strategy. We see it everywhere. But does it actually work? Neuromarketing says yes, absolutely, but it goes deeper than you might think. So the crucial point is that different types of numbers actually target completely different parts of your brain. Rounded numbers, like a flat $10, are super effective when you want a customer to make a fast, emotional impulse buy. But complex numbers, like $9.99 or $9.87, force the logical part of your brain to work just a tiny bit harder. That extra cognitive effort actually tricks your logical brain into concluding that it must be getting a calculated and therefore much better deal.
Section 4. The illusion of choice. Less is more.
We all kind of think we want endless variety, right? Give us all the options. Well, a famous Columbia University study proved the exact opposite. When researchers set up these massive displays with overwhelming options, customers actually stopped less and they bought less. Having too many choices literally overloads your brain's processing capacity. Customers just freeze up, abandon the decision entirely, and walk away. So counterintuitively, scarcity of choice is what actually drives action.
And scarcity of time drives action too. Have you ever felt that sudden, burning urge to buy something just because a sign screamed, "Buy before it's gone"? Neuromarketing confirms that human beings are deeply, deeply motivated by loss aversion. We are often way more terrified of losing out on an opportunity than we are excited about gaining something new. By simply framing a purchase as a potential loss if you don't act right this second, marketers massively increase the odds that you'll open your wallet. So, let me ask you, do you really know what you want? Or are your preferences just a result of careful visual placement, clever number psychology, and a totally fake sense of urgency? Keep that in mind as we head into our final and, honestly, most revealing section. Section 5. Subconscious Desires. Hidden Truths. A truly great example of uncovering these hidden desires comes from PayPal. For the longest time, financial companies just assumed that safety and security were absolutely the most important things to their customers. I mean, it makes sense, right? But when PayPal ran their neuromarketing studies, they discovered a hidden truth. Their customers' brains actually lit up with way more excitement at the promise of speed, ease, and efficiency than they ever did for security. Armed with this subconscious data, PayPal completely shifted their marketing to highlight how fast their service was, dramatically increasing their user base. The reality is, instead of asking people what they like, companies are now just scanning their brains to get the raw truth. The National Cancer Institute literally used fMRI scanners to test different ads for a telephone hotline. The ad that caused the most brain activity in a specific area resulted in vastly more real-world calls. In another crazy study, researchers used EEG imaging to test how happy customers were with a skin treatment. They didn't ask them. They measured the electrical activity in the parts of their brain that judge facial beauty. Even Hyundai hooked people up to EEG monitors to test prototype car designs, literally tweaking the exterior shapes of their cars based on which curves cause the highest neurological stimulation. But perhaps the most striking, and honestly the funniest, example of why brands trust brain scans over people is the famous Cheetos laundry ad. In this commercial, a woman plays a pretty mean prank on her friend by throwing orange Cheetos into a load of white laundry. When they showed this to a traditional focus group, the participants explicitly stated they hated the ad. They said it was mean, but when those exact same people were hooked up to an EEG brain scan while watching it, the data showed they actually loved it. They found it completely hilarious. They had just lied to the focus group because they didn't want to look like bad people in front of strangers. Neuromarketing perfectly bypasses human lies and reveals our true secret preferences.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how far the science goes. It's not just physical products on a shelf, it's digital experiences too. Video game companies now literally employ built-in psychologists to weaponize your own neurotransmitters against you. They design incredibly sophisticated punishment and reward systems right into the games, specifically calibrated to trigger spikes of dopamine in your brain. This dopamine rush creates intense feelings of happiness and positive memories, ensuring you become neurologically hooked and just keep playing.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought. After seeing how your eyes are tracked, your fears of loss are manipulated, your sense of value is completely anchored, and your very brainwaves are scanned to design the products around you, are you really the one making your buying decisions? Or is the modern consumer just navigating a world expertly engineered to bypass our free will entirely? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. The next time you go shopping, try to spot the science, if you can.